This is Barry Zalma on insurance. I am an attorney who has retired from the practice of law and now spend my time acting as an insurance claims consultant and expert witness, and author and producer of these videos. Today I'd like to talk about the defects that bring about claims for construction defects to insurance companies. Construction defects are any deficiency in the performance or completion of the design, planning, supervision, inspection, or construction for any new building or structure that has been remodeled or has undergone repairs. Understanding what a construction defect is has become so complex that states have begun to define them by statute. For example, construction defects are defined as a violation of statutory performance standards for every building component in a dwelling, for any new residential construction sold after January 1, 2003. This is the California Civil Code Section 895 et sec., the right to repair law. Under Illinois law, it is well established that a construction defect is not an occurrence, nor is it an accident. Rather, it is the natural and ordinary consequence of poor workmanship. Since almost anything in a construction project can and usually will go wrong, this video will only deal with the kinds of construction defects that have caused and will continue to cause major damage to property and serious problems for occupants of structures. Courts across North America have recognized the following major, albeit not all-inclusive, construction defect categories. 1. Design deficiencies, where design professionals such as architects or engineers design buildings that do not function as intended or specified. The motivation for the design may be form, function, aesthetics, or cost considerations, but the result is a defect. 2. Material deficiencies, use of inferior building materials, causing problems such as leaking windows or deterioration of flashing, building paper, waterproofing membranes, asphalt roofing shingles, particle board, drywall, or other products. Leaking windows are a common claim of defect, and prevention requires good workmanship. Window leaks can result from many things, including rough framing, not being flush with outside at openings, improperly flashed windows, improperly applied building paper, window frames that are racked during storage or moving, or lack of sheet metal drip edge above the window header. 3. Construction deficiencies, substandard workmanship often manifested by water intrusion, cracked foundations, floor slabs or walls, dry rotted wood or other building materials, termite or other pest infestations, electrical and mechanical problems, plumbing leaks and backups, lack of appropriate sound insulation, and or other problems related to poor quality work. Poor quality workmanship often is seen by property owners as water infiltration through some portion of the building structure, cracks in foundations, floor slabs, walls, dry rotting of wood and other building materials, all add to claims of construction defects. 4. Building code violations. Failure to comply with relevant building codes, since building codes are different in most jurisdictions, it is essential to establish which code was in effect at the time of construction before asserting this defect. Similarly, failure to comply with prevailing building industry standards, even if there is no specific code or ordinance, denotes the existence of a defect. 5. Subsurface or geotechnical problems. California, Colorado, Florida, and other parts of the country have significant amounts of expansive soil conditions. In this type of terrain, where it is difficult to provide a solid or stable foundation, there have been many problems with housing subdivisions or other developments that are built into hills or other sloping areas. If the subsurface conditions in these subdivisions and/or developments are not properly compacted and prepared with adequate drainage, claims of defects will invariably result. These claims will include vertical and horizontal settlement, that is subsidence, movement, expansion, slope failures, flooding, and extremely rainy climates, landslides. The structures built on expansive soil typically show cracked foundations, floor slabs, and other damage to a building, all of which brings about a construction defect lawsuit. Before considering litigation or starting the defense of a construction defect suit, it is always prudent to conduct a full and thorough investigation. Although some construction defects and their effects on property and the health and safety of occupants are patent and obvious, other defects may be latent and difficult to see. Even readily apparent damages may have several causes. For these reasons, experts specializing in specific aspects of construction are usually retained either by the builder or by the builder's insurer to identify the defects and damages, evaluate the causes, recommend appropriate methods of repair, and estimate costs required to perform repairs. When a roof leaks, the damages caused by water entering the premises are obvious. When a balcony falls off a building, the damages are also obvious. However, when a galvanized pipe is improperly connected to a copper pipe, the result is a slow deterioration of the pipes, creating tiny water leaks throughout the structure. In a construction defect case, determination of the extent of the defects and the full amount of damages requires professional testing and advice. Professional testing can be accomplished with an invasive investigation that requires removal of portions of walls, floors, or roofs, or soil samples taken by any of the following: an engineer, a construction consultant, an industrial hygienist, a geologist, an architect, or a geotechnical engineer, or a combination of all of them. Testing cannot be performed without first acquiring permission from the appropriate parties. When the owner requests testing of the property, the owner can provide access to the property. If, however, the damage is to one unit of a multiple unit structure, or the injured party does not have access or the right to do invasive testing, then testing permission must be obtained from the owner or the board of directors of the condominium association. If permission cannot be obtained, then the party requiring the testing may need to obtain a court order to compel the owner to give access to the property for invasive testing. The result of defects that allow for water intrusion probably are the reasons for most of construction defect suits filed in the United States. Structures, whether residential or commercial, are expected to be watertight. The only water that should enter a structure is that which serves domestic water needs for baths, sinks, toilets, washing machines, dishwashers, and other water-using appliances. Damages from water intrusion can range from a simple cosmetic fix, that is, repainting of walls and ceilings, to total destruction of a structure. The types of damage from water intrusion that could result in a construction defect suit include stained walls, ceilings, or floors, destroyed wall coverings, destroyed floor coverings, warped walls, warped wood floors, cracking, settling, or weakness in foundations, settling of portions of the structure, cracking of concrete flatwork, slabs, sidewalks, etc., wet or dry rot of wood members, mold infestation, sick building syndrome, bodily injury or illness to the occupants of a structure, or destruction of contents or equipment in a structure. In Nevada, a group of homeowners asserted their homes were built with defective framing that was responsible for extensive water damage from rain and snow. As a result, they sought recovery based upon warranty and tort theories. Similarly, in Minnesota, a construction defect case involving water intrusion that was discovered 2 years before filing suit was barred by the Minnesota statute of limitation by the Court of Appeal, but then reversed by the Supreme Court that found that the statute of limitations only begins to run when the homeowner discovers, or should have discovered, the builder's refusal or inability to ensure the home is free from major construction defects. The court stated, quote, "We also consider whether the definition of major construction defect in the statutory new home warranty extends to actual damage to load-bearing portions of the dwelling occurring after the completion of construction. We hold that it does, subject to the specifically enumerated exclusions and exceptions." Close quote. This is a case called Vlahos versus R&I Construction, a 2004 decision of the Minnesota Supreme Court. In California, the statute of limitations can be tolled, that is, held in abeyance, while the defendants attempt to make repairs. In one case, however, a condominium association ignored a patent deficiency for many years, and the court found that the association should have discovered the deficiency more than 3 years before filing suit. This was Winston Square Homeowners Association versus Centex West, a 1989 decision. There are many ways, of course, that water can get into a home. Plumbing defects, installation improprieties, broken water pipes, leaking roofs, leaking windows, leaking doors, improper flat work of concrete that instead of leading water away from the premises leads it into the dwelling. All of these construction defects can bring about litigation, and every contractor, every builder, every owner who builds large groups of dwellings need insurance to protect them against these construction defect suits. This video was adapted from my book Construction Defects and Insurance, Volume 2, which is available as both a Kindle book and as a paperback from Amazon.com. This video is available on YouTube and on Rumble.com, and you should subscribe to both and to my blog so that you can learn about future videos and future blog postings. Thank you for your attention.